Holy crocodile! What do we make of that? And this? Daring rescue of a wilder beast from behind the crocs' bad luck. But some time ago, while he was busily doing nothing other than going through the WhatsApp feed on his gadget, the phone thing, that was it. He had happened to run into a video of an African wilder beast being dragged by a reluctant hind leg to the feast. The leg which was wedged up into the jaws of a hungry crocodile, my child, like this. As said, the cattle beast hind leg was wedged up good and proper into the jaws of the crocodile's clapper, while the beast was being drawn backward into the lair and the domain of the croc, and to certain death, bad luck. Of course, it was there, in the deep waters where the beast definitely didn't want to be running off to anywhere. Obviously, let's assume it's a he. He was resisting with everything in him, trying to escape the croc's deadly death gripping. Meanwhile, the stage was being set for another repent and be thou save, O ye sinful man sermon. The scene was being narrated by an emotional Christian brother. One would have known this much because of how he started out and then continued on to compare the whole scene properly to the life and the times and the journey of a Christian. God sure doesn't like ugly boy. God doesn't like crocodile either, so it would have seemed. Probably because they are so ugly, it sure seems so to me. Yeah, I'm very mean. In his mind, it would have appeared as if everything therewith, or even those without breathing breath in the nostril to spear or spit, was there only to be used as props and the set, designed to teach greater lessons to the believer or even the unbeliever. The unbeliever who was to be the next one targeted to be converted into a receiver, perhaps. Well, everything other than for the crocodile. The croc, for his luck, or even for the lack thereof, seemed to be likened to the devil's tool on the truck, or to the devil himself. Tough luck. No one seemed to give a rat's assumption of anything about the life and the times of Croaky the crocodile and his sin. So it would have seemed. But as far as others are concerned, some of us have got another notion about that, as was learned. I for one have got a feeling about the croc, and if you are a thinking person, more or less like the duck are worsened, you probably will too, because after all these happenings are done and over with, and many are gone off to forgotten land quick, I have a feeling that the croc will still be here. Yeah, that sure is sick, my dear. The croc is a survivor. She probably has seen and gone through many such scenes in her own life and the times before the diver and her, like times when no human eyes were there peeping through the door and watching such things occur, nor cameras recording, and she would have lived it out. Quite unlike how it was to be with some of her friends who did not live it out, like 3 of them come and didn't live it out. 4 of them come and, oh, wait a minute. No, I've got to stop this. Got this refrain going on in my head, it brain fits. Where did it come from again? And so quick? I wonder. Crocodile, though, had managed to live out a lot of things that could have been living still, and found her next meal shortly thereafter, like I am sure he did after those cameras were turned away from his saucer. Speaking of watching, some others were, be it of the people kinds or any other greater or even lesser creature kinds. Any other greater or lesser creature kind round about those parts. They were there watching. Many may have been there and wearying themselves away watching until they couldn't watch anymore because, well, you know the score. They would have been trying hard at ensuring that each individual I, me, or even we, everyone among them there would have been there trying to ensure that I won't be the next victim, you know, like the next meal for Croaky the crocodile to go fixing. But one of them will, and soon, and then another and another, because Crocodile must be fed, and shall be. Yes, yes, my brother, come and see. It wasn't games that she was out there playing like me, like stuck in the mud, or touch and run, perhaps, or any other such thing as that. She was laboring for food to take back home to the pass for dinner, for herself and him with spinners, and for her young ones, the beginners. Well, if she has any young ones. According to the website Pets on Mom, more than 200 million years ago, crocodiles roamed the earth among the dinosaurs. A combination of physiological and behavioral adaptation has ensured the crocodile's survival through the ages. So the story goes on those pages. Croc, therefore, is a survivor. Just happened to have lost out on the favor, like the charm thing, which no one gave her an arm swing to go give it to him, or if they did, it would have fallen off her and onto others from him, I am more than sure. And probably due to the Earth's overwarming and the overpopulation thing or something. And what's up with all those scary looking teeth on either side of her beak? On him even? And that long curvy face thing sure doesn't help her and him any in this casing, nor in winning friends and sympathizers in. Never was found lucky enough to have had many in her corner clamoring to surprise her, shouting happy birthday wishes and cheering her on the inside door. None to protect her from harm, nor from the threat of extinction. But she had managed to live it out, and many of the other kinds too, round about him and you. She would have lived them out. Those are the species men would scout. Those who used to be, but not anymore, like those whose dried and very well preserved corpse would be lucky if found still hanging on some museum wall as props, or on a hunter's shelf behind the doorsteps. Then even. But Croc's God has been good to her and him. This I'd say, and the risk of sin. She's still here and hanging on today. No, not hanging on a wall, but on a limb to pray. Hanging onto a want to run away hind leg, which currently belongs to that beast who is finding with every breath it pant that it cannot. No, it can't. You know, like run. But as for you and me, who among you was he or she? Which of you was there rooting for the croc, urging her on and in for the killing good luck, so that she could have dinner too, to go home and cook and like have a meal? or to be fed along with her family. That's what she was out there laboring for, you know. But I forgot. She's ugly, like I am not. Oh, why did you laugh? Boy, clear off and go away. So, as for a crook, she should not be fed unless it's to somebody and with bread, right? Right, the bread. That's just how things ought to be and go, no? Oh, well then, over to you all. And then, I thank you.